What's up, guys? So welcome back to Train Sim World 6. We have a very exciting job ahead of us today. Let me get these doors open. We are wearing multiple hats, the most important of which is an engineer to get these lovely passengers here from Summit, New Jersey at Summit Station down to Penn Station in New York City. That's right, baby. We are going to be heading to the Big Apple. We've got this ALP-46 electric locomotive made by Bombardier here for the New Jersey transit system, and I'm very excited to see what kind of trouble we can get into here. We have never gone into a city this big. Looks like we've got some last-minute passengers getting on board. Here we go, baby. I feel like we've done a lot of Europe, a lot of high-speed trains, a lot of things like that. Very excited to see what the Northeast rail system has to offer here, and it looks like we've got about 10 seconds. He's not going for us. He's waiting for his next train. I'm pretty sure our main door controls are somewhere in here, and obviously as the engineer we don't really have access to that, so I'm gonna wait, make sure. We are officially 5 seconds over time. We're gonna get that door closed. We're gonna hop in here. We're gonna see what kind of trouble we can get into. So we are gonna throw our headlights on dim. We're gonna throw our crossing and ditch lights on auto, which gives us a little bit more visibility. We're going to be putting our automatic brake into release. We're going to be putting our reverser into forward, and we are going to be adding just a little bit of power here. Give it a couple of horn foot switches. And we are officially out of here, baby. Here we go. Let the air brake release. And we should see a little bit of forward momentum. Look at that, man. You can see all the little nubs and like the do not cross thing. Slowly moving forward. Got a little double-decker train. Got a lot of people back there that we're responsible for. And I'm very excited to see what happens today. I think this is about a 40 to a 50-minute journey in total, so we'll see how we end up doing. But all right, so it looks like we've got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit off the bat. I would assume we could do a little bit more power. We're going to go to P4 here. So this is going to be our throttle, our power handle. We've got power on the back side, and we've got braking up front. We've also got an automatic brake and an independent brake. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried as to how we're going to do this. I did do the training on this thing. We're down to 15 miles an hour, so we're going to slow this thing down a little bit. But I did the training. I feel like it didn't really fully prepare me for what we've got going on. So I'm assuming that this is kind of like our day-to-day gas and brake. This is like if you're in a car. These are your couple of pedals. This is going to be a slightly more serious brake. The automatic brake is the whole train's brake. It's an air brake, so we're going to have to use that to slow down to be able to go into stations. And then your independent brake, I'm assuming we're not going to be using because that is solely on this locomotive up front here. So you don't want to be using that to stop the whole train because you'll get yourself in trouble. That's more for like when you're in the train station and doing switches and turns and coupling up with other things. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like we've got a 7.7% downgrade. So I'm going to put oh, no, we're up to 45 degrees. All right, beautiful. Let's go ahead and give her some beans. Here we go. We are going to be off, heading towards the Big Apple. Very excited to see what's to come. Very excited to hopefully make it in one piece, and we'll see how this thing goes. So we're going to get this up to 45 miles an hour on an 8% downgrade. Let's go ahead and open these windows, enjoy it. We're up here by ourselves. Take a look at New Jersey. Beautiful New Jersey. Said nobody ever. Just kidding. I'm sure some of you guys are from New Jersey. I actually just went to a wedding in New Jersey for my buddy Ryan. It was so much fun. It was in Beach Haven. So, I mean, he's from, Manahawkin-ish area, like more woodsy Jersey, but Beach Haven was really, really nice. So I was very excited to see that. And honestly, I never understood the hype of that area of the world, the Northeast beaches and things like that. I'm like, hey, Florida beaches are the best, right? But I actually quite liked New Jersey beaches, so I'm excited to go back hopefully next summer. But all right, we're going to throw a little bit of braking in here. 1.5% downgrade. We are not slowing down enough. We're going to throw a little bit more braking. We got a lot of weight behind us. Want to make sure we're keeping this thing under that 45, now 50 miles an hour. And like I said, we are heading straight in to New York City, which is kind of exciting. We haven't done this yet. We haven't taken any of these northeasterly lines yet. Get rid of that HUD, and my goodness, is this absolutely beautiful. What a unique part of the world, man. All right, so we've got a stop coming up. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to we're going to put this into B8. We've got 4,200 feet. That's not really a whole lot. I'm going to put our automatic brake into service, which we've got release, hold, lap, service. I think lap and hold are really close, and then we've got emergency brake after that. Hold on, let's release this again. We're going a lot slower than I was expecting. Shoot, okay. We really messed this up royally. I'm not gonna lie, this is the second time I've tried this, and this train is really hard to work, so we're gonna give this thing a little bit more power. We gotta learn when we're supposed to brake and when we're not, so we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen. But I guess 3,000 feet is more than half a mile, but I felt like we were starting to get out of control. We are a little bit late, but that's fine. That's par for the course here. To be honest, last time I had to throw this thing in emergency, I had to throw independent on max. I had to throw this thing on max. It was just bad, and then I couldn't get the train restarted. So I'm trying to not have that happen again. So I guess service braking is pretty solid. So at 37 miles an hour at 1,500 feet, we're gonna see how service braking looks here. If we put the power handle on braking, maybe a little bit less. You just got to kind of gauge it here, Trev. Go ahead and release. Lap braking, that's hold. Release it.
This station stop is Short Hill.
It works. You know, we officially made it here. Unfortunately, only the very first car is going to be able to get off, so go ahead and exit, people. Thank you, guys. Oh, hold on. Sorry about... Wait. Yo, chill. Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, why is the train going? Hold on. This is officially not good. Do we have this... why do we put that on release? We should have that on lap because it's going to stop it. I think we were trying to pull up forward... Oh, wait. Hold on. It's still going. We're fine. It's going to be fine. You know what? This was on purpose. Let me just run alongside this thing and get up here. Perfect. Okay. We're just going to pull this thing all the way up to where we want it to. You're not going to pay attention that your engineer just jumped out of the loco and try to make this work. Okay, so we're going to put this back to brake. We're going to put this thing on service. We're going to put this at max brake. And we have officially made it exactly where we wanted to be. Welcome, people. All right, we're gonna load some passengers. We'll get these doors unlocked. You guys are welcome aboard. Trust me. Please, you definitely should, based on the performance you just saw there. And we're gonna shut that door. We're good to go. Everybody's on board. We're gonna get back up top. We're gonna make sure we close our own door, and we are gonna head on out. We are officially behind schedule, so we are gonna release this thing. We are gonna put this into P5. And we're going to see what we can do. I'll be honest, bro. I swear the tutorial did not prepare me for this. So you guys are seeing the absolute worst version of myself right now. We're just trying to figure this thing out. And instead of spending a long time figuring it out off screen, we're just going to do it together. So you guys are going to see me actively learn how, like if I hijack this train, this is how I would drive it pretty much. Pull the horn a little bit. Beautiful. I know you got to shut the bell off down here. Perfect. We've also got a foot horn. I think you guys have seen that before. That's pretty cool. I can also press spacebar. It's pretty cool. All right. We are off, and we are officially significantly behind time, but it's fine. If you guys saw my chat GPT trying to figure out how to drive this freaking train, you guys would understand. You would appreciate it. This is like, you know, hey, you lied on your resume a little bit. You're in there. You're trying to figure it out. You're going to figure it out by the time it becomes deadly for other souls on board, and you're just gonna kind of hope for the best. You're just gonna wing it until you can't anymore. So I would say we could probably stop this thing within like 1,000 feet. We're gonna be speeding, so we're gonna throw the brakes on. We're gonna be really, really speeding, like heavy speeding here. No, we actually saved that pretty well right there. Good eye, Trev. Good job. So we're at 2,400 feet away. I'm gonna say like 1,200 feet. We throw that lap setting on the independent or the automatic brake, and we're gonna be good to go. So we're gonna wait for 1,200 here. I cannot believe how difficult it is to drive these things. So we're gonna go, oh, not lap, service, sorry. Beautiful, look at that. Absolutely love how that thing works right there. Okay, service brake is absolutely insane, dude. Like, that is crazy how well that works, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna fly in here. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of power. P2. We're just going to ride in here nice and easy. It doesn't matter that we're already 3 minutes behind pace. It's going to be a-okay. We can go ahead and give it a little bit of braking. We've pretty much made it into the zone that we're looking for. And at the end, if we want to, we can throw a little bit of service brake on, and that should take care of it very nicely. Look at that. I told you guys, lie in your resume, you're going to be fine. You'll figure it out eventually. All right. I still don't know how to open the doors. I know I can press U. U will open the doors. But I'd rather get out and take care of my people. Shake some hands. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. How you doing? Very happy to be of service. Looks like none of you guys are actually on my train since I'm showing up so late. But, hey, a lot of you guys said the European trains are not nearly as on time as I thought they were in the last episode. So, it feels good to be on European time, I guess. Let's go ahead and close that door. We're going to get the heck out of here. Back in the driver's seat, we are going to release that brake. I cannot get over how good that brake works, and we're going to go ahead and go full power, dude. We got a little bit of time to make up for, so we're going to hope we can do so. I'm hearing a whole lot of air. There we go. It's got to bleed off all of that air before we can get going again. That's bro, this is like a whole science experiment the entire time. Like making sure, like this much weight, moving this weight around on these little rails. Again, we've said it before. You think that it's so easy. Like, hey, you just stop and go, and you don't have to worry about turning. You don't have to worry about anybody crossing your path. You've got a million railroad tracks and crossing guards and signs and stuff along the way that just kind of let you do your thing. But this is like such a ridiculously difficult system to navigate. I cannot believe how talented these engineers are. But this is insane. I can't wait to get into a super highly dense area. You know what I mean? So it's going to be great. We're definitely going to be qualified for that. So we're going to bring this thing down to 0. We're going to coast a bit. We're still going downhill. Looks like the whole thing from Summit, New Jersey to New York City is downhill. Actually, looks like we got a little bit of a speed increase here. So we're going to add a little bit more. We are a minute and a half behind schedule, but honestly, that could be worse. We've got a 70-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up soon, so let's give this thing the beans. Let's see what happens. 70 should technically, I think 70 is going to be behind us here. It's actually interesting. I learned from the last episode in the comments. You guys said when braking, the braking applies to the very first car of the train. But then for like speed increases, it applies to the very last car of the train. So you should be slow to speed up and early to brake, which makes sense. So we're going to throw probably a little bit of braking on here. We definitely didn't need to get going that fast, but we're going to start slowing things down. Now that we're going a little bit faster, I would imagine we're going to throw our service brake on a little bit earlier, but not too early, dude. We've been a little bit too early. I'm going to put it on at 1,000 feet. Let's add a little bit more, and then we can go with the service brake. Oh, we don't have enough. We don't have enough. Service brake, max brake. Okay. I was not prepared. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We just blew right through this station. Look at all these poor people looking to get on their train. Okay. Speed is a lot more important than you thought, Trev. Stopping a significant mass in a timely manner, of course it is. I'll hop out. Let me rub. Bro. We don't have like a conductor to manage the doors or anything. I don't know if we could, have a 2-player situation or what. We're just going to run backwards on the train here. We could press the button in the cab. I would rather have a nice face-to-face handshake with my customers, though. So we're going to run back. I don't even know if the station is going to allow us on. Oh, we can climb up. Beautiful. Okay, we can open this thing up. You guys enjoy loading up some passengers here. Like we said, it is all math, dude. Like we were going, what, 30 to 35 before? I think, is it Y? Left door. Oh, that's the, right door. Right door's locked. Perfect. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get this thing into the power. We're going to take this thing into release. We're going to have to wait for that to fully release here for a second. But, obviously we were going like 30 to 35. We were stopping at, 1,000 feet. If we're going 65, it's not going to be 1,000 feet anymore. It's not going to be 2,000 feet. It's going to be more than that. So we just got to lock in. I think I did something. Oh no. A couple of honks for moral support. Sometimes it kind of needs like a full reset. Bro, I'm not joking when I say that usually the tutorials are really good. The tutorial for this train was not very good. I may have skipped something or another. I don't think I did. I did my best with this, but I feel like the restarts, she's very finicky. I feel like she has to wait a long time, especially if you use a lot of brake. We didn't use any of that. Our automatic brake is fine. I feel like we didn't do anything crazy there. Let's try putting the power handle back to 0. We're going to put the automatic brake into or it was originally on lap, right? We're going to put that into lap. We're going to put the reverser back into neutral. We'll just do a full reset. And then we could try going back to forward. We'll take this into release. We'll go power handle to 9. And let's hope. Let me just hop out really quick. I'm going to take a look under the hood, bro. Who knew that trains were so difficult? I guess the hood would really be back here. I mean, this is a door into the other side of the loco. The engine's probably between... It's an electric loco, so I don't really know where the engine is. Ooh, I like the sound of that brake releasing there. I think that was it. I can hear things happening. She's gonna start moving, I know it. Yes! Oh my goodness. Okay, so we had to reset the brake somehow. Bro, I genuinely do not know what I'm doing. I'm like trying to work it out along the way, but hey, we gotta work it. Sometimes you just gotta go under the hood. You gotta get your fingernails a little bit dirty. We're gonna be fine. You know, we were supposed to be stopping at the next stop 6 minutes from before, but it's fine. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this thing full beans. And we're going to see what we can do. Look at that little guy going next to us. Hi, how you doing, buddy? All right, we've got 4,000 feet here. We're at 51 miles an hour. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say let's stop at 50. Let's say like 1,800, 2,000, maybe 2,000. Let's try 2,000. So we're going to throw this thing on brake.
The next station stop is
at 2,000. Which is right here. We're going to throw this thing into service, and we're going to see if we can slow this thing down. Oh, it's going to be way too much. All right, back to release. But at least it kind of got us into that vicinity, you know what I mean? Now we can kind of slow play it in here, just keep her going. At that speed, we hadn't seen that speed yet, so again, I'm literally learning on the fly here. I hope you guys don't mind. I know I usually like to kind of have an idea of what's going on, but... It's very much not easy. This is one of the more difficult things we do. I would rather go fly a plane and try to land a 747 than try to drive this freaking train, but we're just kind of trying to do our best here, and we're going to throw this into a service break, which was a little bit late because I was thinking about our cinematics. We should probably go... I'm just talking too much, bro. Full break here. Honestly, still pretty impressive, though. All right, beautiful. Let's get out. Let's let our people off. Door is open. Go ahead and load some passengers. Looks like we might have some people thinking about getting on. And the time has come. Beautiful. We're going to be able to close that up and we can be back on our way. It sounded like all those brakes and everything were... I think that was the problem, is our brakes didn't bleed off, so we just didn't have the ability to be able to leave. So maybe we let it do that and then we go into power. And is that... You could definitely hear it firing back up. That was our problem. This is so freaking majestic, dude. Just thinking about the engineering behind something like this and how many man hours, how ridiculously heavy it is, how tough it is, what it can withstand, the elements and everything else, and just day in, day out, just keep riding these roads, riding these rails, doing its thing, and not complaining. And out of here we go. Typically fairly on time compared to something like an Uber or an airplane or anything else, but today is kind of a special day because we've got a special driver. We are officially 6 minutes behind our next stop. Passing by one station here, we're going to be heading to the next station about 3,000 feet. We're already slowing down a little bit. Honestly, probably a little bit too early, but that's fine. We can start applying a little bit of brake, and we know we're going to be able to brake with this handle a little bit later. Hope you guys enjoy Orange or wherever we're stopping here. I'm gonna assume this is gonna be about 1,000. Driving under the speed limit, feeling good. About 48 miles an hour. Yeah, this is gonna be about 1,000. So we'll throw this into the service brake position. Go ahead and go full brake on this. And that is going to be pretty dang good. A little bit early, but we're starting to get the feel for it, baby. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Tell me we didn't. There's one, like, think about the engineers that can hit that on the money every time, though. Like, that's really impressive. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and unlock the doors. Right doors in, left doors are unlocked. You guys are all good to go. We're going to throw this into the hold position. We're going to put this into, I guess, 0. Would you put it in power? Maybe a power? Lock all doors sounds good. And we can release this thing so we can start taking off a little bit. It takes a while. I feel like every time we put it on emergency and then bring it back, it works better. So maybe when we pull into a space, we should put it on emergency as we're loading people and then unload it. Like, we're bleeding the brakes somehow there. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but it's the right thing. We're just probably doing it the wrong way, because we always have to like redo it afterwards. But all right, off we go. Next destination is going to be in 4,000 feet. Also, I sincerely apologize for not knowing how to properly drive this. Not that I have ever known how to properly drive any of the trains, but I feel like I was severely underqualified for this, but we're making it work. So we're just going to try to get up as quick as we can, and we're going to get back down as quick as we can. It's, you know, maybe a little vomit-inducing back there in the back, so I apologize for you guys. We do have some vomit bags from NJT. Appreciate the New Jersey Transit line, but we'll just hope for the best on that. Dude, this thing is like flying from 0 to 60. I cannot believe how fast this is. I mean, first day on the job, you know, close to 10 minutes behind schedule after a couple of stops. I feel like that's not the worst thing in the world, is it? Let's go ahead and let this thing coast. Go ahead and throw that service brake on, and that's going to be absolutely perfect. I mean, that's how you hit the money shot right there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, we were going a little fast there. We left it in P8 or wherever we put it, and we were way over speeding, but we're fine. 6,700, we're gonna be okay. Release that automatic brake. We're down to a 35-mile-an-hour zone. We are gonna get back up to a 55-mile-an-hour zone, so honestly, we could kind of get ahead of that and give it a little bit of gas to make sure we keep up with the Joneses here. Dude, I swear, the cinematic moments, I have to like turn off the HUD and I can't see the speed limits or anything for a couple of minutes, 60, 70 seconds at max, and it never ends up going well for us. Looks like we've got a little bit of a downhill grade here. We're at 52 miles an hour, so we're just gonna let this thing cruise. We could honestly throw like a B2 on there. Let's just go ahead and slow it down a little bit. Maybe even like a B4. Just let it hold this speed. We've got 2,000 feet. And I think we could start to maybe think about adding a little bit of service brake here. Let's add a little bit more power handle brake. And let's see, we are coming in a little bit hot. Reduce that power handle brake. This one was actually super nice. We're gonna be a little bit short. Just kidding. We might actually, dude, let's freaking go. Okay, so we actually are learning. We're learning the speeds. We're learning the timings, the everything else. Is that how it works? Let me just go ahead and open up the right-hand doors. You guys all get on. Enjoy yourselves. Y'all got this. Beautiful. We're gonna put this thing into handle off. We're gonna put this into 0. Wants us to lock the doors, so we'll go ahead and we'll lock the doors there. Let's bring this thing back to release, and then we should be good to go. If we put a little bit of power in it, we'll just go P5, nothing crazy. But is that how this works? Like the engineers mainly focus on the distance, and they can kind of judge it based on the distance where they need to start applying brake and whatever else. Look at that, brake's just released. We should get that high-pitched sound. And we should start rolling a little bit. Okay, your boy's actually learning how to drive this thing. This is pretty cool. You guys are basically watching a live tutorial, but no tutorial with it. We're just trying to learn how the thing works and what button does what handle goes where. And basically, I can take you anywhere you want to go on the New Jersey Transit system from this point forward. It does actually look like we've got some interesting buildings and stuff coming up. I'm wondering if we're going to see Manhattan at any point. Kind of the skyline off in the distance. I don't know how much more time we have, but we're headed there. We've actually got 9.2 miles to New York Penn. So there's a 10-mile stretch in between this. Hold on, slow it down. We're speeding. We're speeding here. Throw a little bit of brake on. We got 0.4 downhill. Okay, so we must be getting ready to go over the water or something. Dude, this is so exciting. I cannot wait to see what happens at the end of this. It's going to be great. We are officially 10 minutes behind time, but it's fine. Technically, we're supposed to be stopping in 10 minutes time. We've got to go 9 miles in 10 minutes. We've got to average 60 miles an hour-ish. I don't think we're going to be able to do that unless we really kind of broke the law, but it's, you know, we're going to keep this thing between the beacons. To give you boy a one-way from Summit, New Jersey to Penn Station, New York City, I will figure out how to drive the train by the time we get there. Got an increase in speed, so let's go ahead and give this thing the beans. Make sure all of our brakes are all off. Beautiful. All right, we've got 55 miles an hour, a 75 coming up after that. Let's just go ahead and, told you I owed you a 10-second car. We are going to give this thing full throttle ahead. Let's just watch her rip. Watch her work. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Dig in there, girl. Take everything you can. This is an all-you-can-eat buffet. Just get up to speed and get it done. I still don't see the skyline off of the distance. I think we're speeding. Is that the speeding? Yeah. That was the speeding sounds. Okay, we're going to come back off full power. It should jump up to 75, but it looks like we've got a 45 and then a 75 and then a 45 and then a 60. I don't really know what's going on in front of us here. I'm assuming, because we've got that the yellow signal. Going past this, it will probably give us the go-ahead to go a little bit faster. Oh, nope, to 45. You want me to slow down to 45 for real? I'm going to need a little bit of help from the service brake, otherwise we're never going to make it down there. What is the point of going to 45 to 75 to 45 to 75? We're going to try to do the right thing. Oh, because we're switching lanes here. I guess we just kind of have to cool it in this section, because you never really know, you know, based on the time of day and what other tracks are being used and things. You just want to come through here a little bit slower, and then once we get up to that 70 and eventually 90, we should be good to go. This is so sick, dude. Look at this. And I think we have full clearance. We should, yeah, we just got the 70 upgrade. We're gonna be getting the 90 upgrade here soon. So I've got this thing at full max power, no brake. We're going uphill, not gonna be gaining too much speed. Looking at this river, the power lines, all the industry and everything, heading into one of the biggest metropolises that the world has to offer. We've got a 90-mile-an-hour speed limit, but then it's going to drop back down to 60 here in a minute. So let's actually calm this down a little bit. Throw a little bit of brake on. We are going uphill, so that should slow us down some, but we're going to make sure we stay under 60 for that. It's crazy, dude. I don't really know what to expect. I don't know this side of the country that well. I've never ridden this or anything, so we'll just try to behave, I guess. Absolute beauty, dude. Are you kidding me? Look at how freaking sick this is. I cannot believe that we learned how to drive this thing to an extent. Not well, but we learned how to drive it. We can get you from point A to point B. Wow. Do we see the skyline at all? I don't want to... Oh, there's something happening in the distance. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I don't want to sound stupid, but Penn Station is in the middle of Manhattan, is it not? Because I hadn't been seeing anything. Okay. We should be getting the boost to our speed here in a second. Let's take a look at the back. Should see it passing the 90-mile-an-hour sign at some point, which we already have, but I missed it. Okay, let's go ahead and give this thing the beans. We're going to get across the Hudson. Hopefully, we don't see Sully on the way. To be honest, recently found a really, like, newfound respect for New York. I don't know. I always feel like I always thought New York was really, really overrated. I hadn't really been there. Like, I'd been passing through a couple times, but I hadn't gone and stayed and hung out. Chelsea and I went. We were up there for a Royal Caribbean thing. I think you guys saw the vlog when they announced, like, the Perfect Day Mexico and everything else. But we stayed afterwards for a little bit because it was really close to our anniversary. And so we went to a couple of Broadway shows, and we, like, hung out in the city and lived there for a little bit. Let me see how fast we're going, because I feel like it sounds like it's really fast. We're up to 84 miles an hour. We're gonna have to back this thing off a little bit, but yeah, I don't know, like I understand the hype of New York now. Like it's pretty cool. Everything that you could ever want is in such a small space. Like I could imagine living there one day, maybe. I don't think I would love it. I love living in Orlando and the slower pace of life and things like that, but I get the hype, you know what I mean? So anybody from like a big city like that definitely gained a lot of respect for you. Not that I didn't have respect, you know what I mean? But like I gained respect for that lifestyle. Like I think it could be kind of fun to just walk out and, you know, have your grocery store a couple steps away and just have everything that you could ever need just within walking distance, not have to worry about a car, unlimited food and entertainment and things like that. It's kind of cool. It's a little aggressive, it's a little fast. I like hanging out in the lake and relaxing in the backyard, but that's pretty cool too. Into the tunnel here, my goodness. All right. Definitely means we're getting a little bit closer. We're also way over speeding. Automatic brake. We're going to throw this into service. Try to slow us down a little bit. Got to get down to 60 miles an hour so we don't throw ourselves into the side of this thing. Beautiful. How do I put that back to release? Perfect. And we can put this back to power so we don't lose too much speed. We are 1.2 degrees. Oh, please don't stop in the tunnel, Trev. That would be a really bad idea. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit more to get us back up to speed. Just want to do a little check there. Sometimes you got to check yourself. We got a light at the end of the tunnel. We are making our way there, doing the best that we can with what we've got, and we couldn't be happier. We're going under the river right now, right? I would assume. We're going downhill, but it looks like we might eventually be moving uphill, which means we need a little bit more power to make sure we can get up there. Dude, that's crazy. Think about that. When you get down to the bottom of the U and you gotta, ease off and then put it back on to be able to make it there so that you don't run out of momentum. If you lose that, then you're screwed. If you've got the train bowed like this, I don't know that you're going to be able to pull yourself out of there. So again, just like so many kudos to the people that drive these things. They are so badass. 3,200 feet away, we're going 62 miles an hour. We're going to go ahead and throw this thing into full brake because we're getting close. I thought we were going to be like pulling straight into Manhattan where we could really see it. We're coming in a little bit too hot. Where's that automatic brake? 1,700 feet. We're going to give it a little bit. I mean, we're overspeeding here. Overspeed. Go ahead and throw it in service. And let's go ahead and park this thing on a dot, baby. I'm not going to touch anything. I think we were a little bit early. Shoot, that would have been really... Imagine we ended up on the green there, and I just, let it go. Is this actually what Penn Station looks like underground? I haven't taken a train in New York before. I took the London subway, the tube, I guess you could call it. I've taken the L train in Chicago, but I've never taken anything here in New York. I was really hoping to see a little bit more of the city, and I guess it doesn't really run through the city like that though, which definitely makes sense. I will say we're only 3 minutes late, so we made up sometime somewhere. I cannot believe we were able to make that happen, but we did it. Full brake, emergency brake, throw everything on. That's it. Done deal. That, my friends, is a finish, and we got a gold medal, bro. Are you kidding me? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's another new route here in Train Sim World 6. Thanks again to Train Sim World for the early access to the game. I love this, man. This is so much fun. If you guys want to check the game out for yourselves, feel free to click that top link down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I think there's one more new route that they've done for this one, but there were also some back in, like, Train Sim, it just kind of keeps building on itself, so, like, each new year has new features plus new routes. There were other routes in previous games we never did, so if you guys want to see anything in particular, feel free to let me know, and this is a lot of fun to try to learn. So thanks so much, guys. Catch y'all later. Peace out.